This is the TrueNAS Mini-R, the newest addition to the Mini family of network-attached storage systems from iX. The Mini-R takes everything we loved about the TrueNAS Mini platform, adds more storage, and rack mounts it. Let's take a look. Hey there, Homelabers! We reviewed the TrueNAS Mini X Plus a while back, and we were incredibly impressed by it, but if there was anything we'd change about it, it would be to rack mount it and to expand its storage capability. It looks like iX was way ahead of us on this, and today we have for you the TrueNAS Mini-R to review. Let's get to it. Landing on February 22, 2023, the TrueNAS Mini-R takes everything the Mini family does right, rack mounts it, and adds more storage. Let's start off with the dimensions. The Mini-R stands 2U or 2 rack units high, roughly 440mm or 17 inches wide, and is 528mm or 20 inches deep. The Mini-R fits a standard 4-post 19-inch rack and comes with sliding rack rails that will fit a standard EIA 310 compliant rack with posts between 19 to 26.6 inches. iX offers deeper rails for those of you rocking racks deeper than 26 inches. The included rails will fit both square hole and round hole racks, which is a nice touch. The Mini-R features the most drives of all of the Mini models offered by iX, with 12 full-sized hot-swappable 3.5-inch discs up front. Each drive tray has individual integrated locks to help prevent accidental removal. The drive trays are compatible with 3.5 to 2.5-inch conversion kits, so if you're looking to build a wicked fast SSD-only Mini-R, you can. The Mini-R also has a nice branded locking bezel with integrated dust filter to keep your internals clean. Let's take a look at the backside. Starting on the left-hand side of the rear, we find a single power supply connection. The Mini-R does not have redundant PSUs, which isn't a surprise since the intended audience is not the enterprise. Moving on to the I/O port cluster, we first find 2 USB 2.0 ports and a standard IPMI or lights-out network interface for remote access to your system. Next over, we find 2 10GB base T copper Ethernet ports, and finally a 15-pin VGA connector. Moving on, our eval unit also came with a 2x10GB SFP Plus NIC, which is an add-on option for those looking for native SFP Plus interfaces. And lastly, on the far right, a single USB 3.0 connection for high-speed USB devices. Let's open it up and take a look inside. Inside, we find very familiar gear. The Mini-R boasts the same 8-core Intel Atom C3758 CPU running at 2.2 GHz used in the Mini X Plus. In fact, the main board looks to be the same used in the Mini X Plus as well. This isn't a bad thing for a number of reasons. First, the C3758 is kind of like a baby Xeon, giving you great power efficiency and performance, and has a ton of enterprise features like support for ECC RAM, which is highly recommended for ZFS file systems, quick assist technology for better encrypt, decrypt performance, and more. And second, this platform has been proven in the Mini family to be rock solid and reliable. The Mini-R comes with 64GB of DDR4 ECC RAM, NVMe for boot, and as previously mentioned, our eval unit came with a 2x10GB SFP Plus card installed in the 4X PCIe slot. Cooling for the Mini-R comes from 3 180mm fans to pull in cool air from the front and exhaust out the back. Usually, when we think of rack-mounted servers, we expect a lot of fan noise, but iX states that the Mini-R produces 40 dB at idle and at a peak 52 dB, and that the system consumes 170 watts fully populated. Our eval unit shipped with 8 10TB Western Digital Red Plus NAS drives and 4 1.9TB iX branded SSDs for caching. Let's get them inserted and get the system in the rack. iX ships the Mini-R with TrueNAS Core, and the system fully supports side grading to TrueNAS Scale. Here at the channel, we've become big fans of TrueNAS Scale because of its native Kubernetes and virtualization support, and because we're Linux nerds. However you choose to run, the system will happily support both OSs. The iX Mini-R system retails for around $2,000 without discs. Alright, this video wouldn't be complete without at least some preliminary testing on the performance of the Mini-R. Now, we intend to test the system more completely in future videos, but for now, let's take a look at good old-fashioned SMB performance. Here's the list of test parameters. Our VDEV layout was built specifically for speed over capacity. Our pool consists of 3 VDEVs of 2 10TB Western Digital, each in a mirror configuration. We've set up a single SSD to act as our read cache. We're using 3 SSDs in a stripe acting as our write cache. Yes, I know this isn't production safe, but my intention here is to test the best SMB performance I can get. And lastly, these tests are focused on SMB performance between a 10 gig network-connected Windows 10 Pro client and the TrueNAS Mini-R. Crystal Diskmark is our testing software of choice and was used in these tests. Let's see those graphs. In the first test, the sequential 1 MB block test with a queue depth of 8 and a thread of 1, the TrueNAS Mini-R essentially saturated the 10 gigabit connection in read and write speeds up to the 512 MB test file size. This was impressive but also expected, considering most of these file sizes easily fit into the RAM cache. Once we get to the 1 GB file size and higher, we start to see where that striped write cache really begins helping out. Read speeds were also very consistent all the way through to the 64 GB test file sizes. In the sequential 1 MB block test with a queue depth of 1 and a thread of 1, we see very consistent write speeds within the sub-gigabyte test file sizes. The higher read speeds reflected in the sub-1 GB tests are very likely due to ZFS RAM caching. Once our file sizes get considerably larger, the read and write speeds begin to even out. Both of these sets of tests show us impressive results in SMB file transfer rates, and it's clear that when using a 10 gig connection, the Mini-R can move a lot of data quickly. As previously mentioned, we'll be making more videos in the near future on the Mini-R, so be sure to let us know what kind of tests you'd like to see run against it. And now that you've finished watching this video, check out our playlist over here of other storage videos we've done in the past. If you're looking for your next NAS, we can help you find it.